Here in the Philippines, the most elusive Fortuner variant is the Toyota Fortuner Q. You see, the moment a Fortuner Q arrives at a dealership, it immediately gets sold. Now, luckily guys, we were able to track one down here at Toyota Valenzuela, and before this Fortuner Q gets sold off, well, let's find out what makes the Toyota Fortuner Q variant the most popular and best-selling Fortuner in the local lineup. Let's do this. Nong, it's such a great day to go walking around the village.
Naku, Regan, I'm not young enough anymore to take a walk around the village.
No, don't worry, Nong. I got you covered. I brought for you the Sport mobility scooter.
Really?
Sheesh!
Oh, wow! This looks really sporty and awesome.
Yes, Ninong, for sure. You know, the Sport mobility scooter was inspired by a sports car. It's compact, it's lightweight, and you can even fold it as a trolley. So, give it a shot, Nong.
Let's take this baby for a ride. Come on.
The Sport has a range of 20 kilometers continuous driving and only needs 4 hours to reach a full charge. With a top speed of 10 kilometers per hour, you can keep up with even the fastest walkers out there.
Maganda nga ito, Regan. How much is this?
Well, Ninong, the Sport mobility scooter retails for 165,000 Philippine pesos. But if you call their hotline and mention Regan, you will get special freebies. With Sport, you can be stylish and be unstoppable. Back to you, Regan. Hello guys, I'm Regan and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I invite you to click that subscribe button for your regular dose of Philippine automotive content. If you're my subscriber already, well, sit back, relax, click that like button and enjoy the show. Also, special thanks to Toyota Valenzuela for providing the Toyota Fortuner Q to do this car feature. If you're within the area and you need any Toyota, head on down here and check them out. For any inquiries, you may also call the hotline in my pinned comment below. Also guys, before we begin, if you find this video useful and you'd like to express your thanks, well, you can also click that super thanks button on the video and I will highly appreciate it. So why is the Fortuner Q trim so popular here in the Philippines that it took me over a year to finally track one down? Well guys, to put it quite simply, this is essentially a Toyota Fortuner LTD 4x2, but it doesn't come with a body kit and it also misses out on a few bells and whistles inside. Now this, my friends, is also priced quite well because the Toyota Fortuner Q has a retail price of 2,058,000 Philippine pesos, which I would consider to be the sweet spot amongst the 7-seater pickup-based SUVs in the Philippines today. As for the looks, the Fortuner Q shares the same front fascia with the lower trim Toyota Fortuners. Now that's great for people who just want to blend in and not stand out. Now the good news here guys is the headlight units, the lighting units here are almost similar to the LTD 4x2 because this Fortuner Q gets full LED headlight units, LED DRLs, but the turn signals are not sequential. Well guys, who the hell cares, right? Who the hell cares? Anyway, the front grille of the Fortuner Q is also blacked out here for a more sporty look, and the overall front fascia is decent and it's also familiar, which should please a lot of Toyota purists out there. Here on the side, you get the same familiar Fortuner silhouette, although the Fortuner Q doesn't have that two-tone paint job that can be found in the higher trim LTDs. Now, if you're not a fan of that sporty two-tone paint job, then this Fortuner Q will definitely float your boat. In terms of functionality, guys, well, it's the same as the higher trim LTD because we still get power folding side mirrors here with LED turn signals. And if you turn your attention to the wheels and tires, well, these are still the same size 18-inch alloy wheels, but the design of the wheels of the Fortuner Q are different from the higher trim LTDs. Now, behind these wheels, we get the same mechanical bits as the higher trim LTD because we get four-wheel ventilated disc brakes here, and for the suspension, we have a double wishbone front suspension and a multi-link rear suspension. Now the ground clearance is, well, of course, it's the same as the other Fortuners in the lineup. It stands at 240 millimeters, and the flood wading depth is still at 700 millimeters. The rear end of the Fortuner Q gets a more toned-down design approach because it doesn't come with those sporty fake vents on the rear bumper that's found in the LTD. And as for the center trim here, well, it's still a traditional chrome versus the black chrome of the higher trim LTD. However, guys, the taillights are still full LEDs here, and we still get a power liftgate, although it doesn't really come with a kick function. You just have to press the button here to open the power liftgate. And once we have this thing open, you'll notice that the third row seats of the Fortuner Q, just like all of the Fortuners in the country, will still fold to the sides, which translates to a measly 716 liters of cargo carrying capacity. Now that, my friends, translates to a couple of medium-sized luggage, as you can see. Put one here, another there, and maybe a third one on top. So around 3 medium-sized luggage, which, to be honest, it's not really the class leader in the category. One of the reasons why the Fortuner Q is such a bestseller is the engine and drivetrain combo here. You see, the Fortuner Q gets the same engine and transmission as the top-spec Fortuner LTD 4x4 and Fortuner GR Sport. See, this, my friends, is a 2.8-liter four-cylinder turbo diesel motor that puts out 201 horsepower and 500 newton meters of torque. Now, all of that power is sent to the rear wheels via a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, friends, you are getting over 200 horses and 500 newton meters of torque for around 2 million Philippine pesos and change. Yeah, no wonder this baby right here sells like hotcakes. One of the top reasons why the Fortuner Q is such a bestseller is, well, this cabin right here. You see, this, my friends, is essentially an LTD cabin minus the red leather bits found all over the place. Now, that's not really a big deal for me, guys, because we still get powered black leather seats here on the front row, and the steering wheel is still the same leather-wrapped steering wheel with a dark wood accent on the top. We also get paddle shifters here, guys. That's also a mild surprise, a pleasant surprise, in fact. And of course, the steering wheel also adjusts for tilt, and it also telescopes, which is, par for the course for a pretty much one of the top spec Toyota Fortuners in the country. Now, the gauge cluster is identical to the LTD trim and the GRS trim. And as for the infotainment system, it's also the same 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system that comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Plus, it also comes with the image of a 360-degree view camera. Now, this infotainment system guys, doesn't really power a JBL speaker setup. But if you're not really much of an audiophile, well, it's not really such a big deal. Now, as for the safety bits of this Fortuner Q, well, as you can see on your screen, it also gets the same Toyota safety sense, safety bits there. Although we do take a hit on the number of airbags here in this Fortuner Q, because yeah, we lose out on the side and curtain airbags, which might be a deal breaker for some. The thing is, if you think about the over 250,000 Philippine pesos versus the LTD 4x2, then maybe the loss of those airbags might not be such a big deal for you. Now guys, other niceties here include a fully automatic dual zone climate control system. We have a wireless charging pad here, and if you look at the whole setup of this cabin, you get the same soft touch materials in the high traffic areas. You get the soft touch padded elbow rest on the door cards, on the center armrest here. But we don't get those splashes of red found in the higher trim LTD, which makes this more of a business black cabin. Now, I won't go into the second and the third row of this Fortuner Q because I've done that several times already in my past Fortuner videos. If you really need a size check of the second and the third row, you can click the link above there. Just watch that in my past Fortuner videos, but if you really need a description of what the second row and the third row feels like, they are on the tight side for a 7-seater pickup-based SUV because the Fortuner's cabin really isn't the biggest in the category. So, in the end, is the Toyota Fortuner Q the best 4x2 Fortuner in the local lineup? Well, friends, if you compare it to the LTD 4x2, well, it doesn't really lose much in terms of amenities and features, but you do save over 250,000 Philippine pesos. Now, this Fortuner Q should perform just as well as the LTD 4x2, so if you don't really care for the body kit and those ventilated seats inside, then yes, this Toyota Fortuner Q may very well be the best 4x2 Fortuner in the local lineup. Thanks for watching.